class balance might actually be terrible this season. Hey guys, Petko here. So far the class balance has been absolutely in shambles, given the fact that for the past couple of days we've been seeing a heavy swings up to like 30% buff on specs before Heroic Week comes up, and even during Heroic Week people are getting like 20 to 25% buff, which obviously is absolutely unacceptable. And it begs the question, why did we have three and a half months of beta just for them to release like 25 pages of hotfixes and bugs literally right before Heroic Week comes out, and during Heroic Week to buff some classes by like 20%, which obviously it's crazy. I don't know, we never had this before. So today we're gonna talk about it, chat a bit, and see exactly what they're planning to do next, at least logically. First of all, what I'm showing you right now is a graph of all the simulation craft from every single theory crafter that they've posted about the spec, including tanks, as you guys can see. And we see on the very bottom a massive disbalance between DPSers. Now do keep in mind that class disbalancing has always been there, and even though some season varies between 10 to 20%, this time around it seems like to be on a much larger side. As you can see, some of the DPSers are here with a 40% difference, give or take. I'm gonna show you actual raid logs after this one, but this is pretty much a pure one target boss fight, which right here is where a lot of people are getting baited, because there are only like maybe one boss where it's like pure ST, and every other boss has cleave in it, which means majority of those single target profiles might not be utilized. Give an example here, Elemento. Even though the pure ST looks to be terrible, I'm gonna show in a few minutes, in actual raid performance, it's absolute garbage, just because the cleave of Ellie is pretty terrible. But yes, the elephant in a room, Shadow Priest got buffed on Monday right before Heroic release came out, and I believe the buffs on single target accounted for like more than 30% if you combine everything together from last week and this week. So that's that. And if that wasn't enough, the DK, which was previously nerfed, apparently the DK Discord went too hard on complaints, and Blizzard decided to pull the ripcord and be like, you know what, let me compensate the buffs and add a bit more on top of it, so just so both builds can be, you know, better than every other spec on a pure ST. And Unholy, I think was it like 2 days ago? Here is it. So 19 hours ago, let's just say a day and a half ago, got buffed by a massive hotfix, which obviously, as you can see, resulted in them once again skyrocketing in overall damage. Overall, not a surprise here. The only thing that caught me by surprise from all of this is Hunter Hydra build. I did not expect, and neither did the other Hunter Theory crafters expected that Hydra build to be that good, that to overtake Raid, for example, in M0 performance. Obviously, M0 performance is absolutely irrelevant. If any of you is measuring the power of your spec based on M0, I'm telling you right now, you can unfollow me and hate me, but you are absolutely idiot. If you are measuring your dick right now based on how much you pump and during M0, you are an absolute idiot, and my apologies for the language, but please do not get baited. Majority of the testing that we were done on Mythic Plus, those high level keys were done with close to max level gear and 4Ps. Right now, you don't even have Mythic Plus open. You don't even have tier set, at least most don't have tier set, right? So when people come to my chat and be like, oh, Petko, bro, my Devourer DH does no damage in Mythic Plus, everybody says it's amazing. Or if somebody comes in my chat and be like, yo, dude, you are an idiot, Retribution Paladin is S tier because, you know, I pump every single 30 seconds and every single trash dies, it makes me jump outside of the window in game. And yeah, I really hope you guys understand this, that Mythic 0 performance has absolutely no relevancy. You guys have to understand that Blizzard tuning is based on currently purely rating. Okay? And remember that for the first couple weeks of the season, they will be tuning rating mostly. So that's about it. Anyway, enough yapping. Let's take a look at what's happening here with the logs. So this is right now is a heroic logs, and I'm gonna give you over a range of 1 day. I'm gonna show you later of 1 week, but you see the massive difference between actual high sims and raid performance. Look at Ellie Shaman, for example. Absolute dog shit. In comparison, the difference between Ellie Shaman here and, for example, Devastation Invoker is it's just crazy. At this point, it's like what, 30%, 35% difference? I mean, And then before you tell me, but only few people play Ellie Shambles, that's not true. If you look at the Ellie logs on Heroic, we have 6,000 people here logged on Heroic. And as a comparison, look at BM Hunter, for example, 2.7. Frosty out. Look how small those likes, logins are, which obviously is something that you guys should remember. But if getting on a bigger picture, sometimes the pure ST of your spec doesn't really favor you because you gotta look at how fights are, right? That's why it's so hard to sim sometimes for AoE because there's so many variables in Mythic Plus, and that's why simulate like sometimes, literally like seeing how the spec plays out in M Plus, you can actually make a more of estimate which talents, for example, might not be worth having, even though they seem better, just because you can't really apply those talents. Vice versa, again, obviously simulation is super important in a game, but to keep in mind that there are scenarios where sims are just impossible to estimate, especially during cleave situations or boss fights, etc. At least not perfectly. And Ellie is a perfect example. I'm pretty much surprised to see that. Well, not really surprised, but I'm pretty. I guess surprised is the right word. Is that every single rogue specs right now is in Shambles? Look at that. This might be the first year where every single rogue specs is in Shambles. Like, unironically. Like on a pure one target sim, Subrock looks to be like in the middle of the tier. But then if you look at the actual data over, for example, a day, let's just put it over a week, okay? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so if Blizzard is basing tuning based on like the rate of the logs they have during raid, I mean, like, if you gotta think logically, they'll be like, okay, let me buff Ellie Shaman and Arcane, and I'm telling you right now, like both Elemental and Arcane Mage and Mythic Plus, once you get your tier set, once you get to play high level keys, etc., they will be doing crazy damage even without the buffs. I will not be surprised to see next week, or even tonight, or in a few hours, I don't know, both Ellie and Arcane to get some adjustments, including BM Hunter 2, which will make something like, if you remember back in season 2 of the War Within, the balance was such in a great spot in Mythic Plus, but in the rating they were underperforming. So what happened is they buffed them in the rating and they became absolutely broken for M+. This is something that could happen to Ellie Shaman this tier. Ellie could actually turn out to be insanely banger. Like, pretty much making Ellie your ult right now is like investing in Bitcoin in 2010. Like, you're actually investing in super high return shit, okay? But I swear I'm not on copying, bro. I swear. Like, something is telling me that this shit is very good for Ellie. Like, the more dog shit you are in the raiding, the better for you for M+, because they're gonna buff you and you're gonna do more damage. Even though right now, the performance of M+ with Ellie, once you get, your tier set and you play Mythic Plus, is gonna be quite good. You're gonna see next week when M+ comes out, you guys are gonna start blasting, be like, oh shit, Petko, you were right. I actually do damage. Anyway, yeah, the Hydra build of M Hunter is broken. Like, I expect this shit to get actually fixed. I mean, I spoke to Azurtarian, and he was pretty adamant about he was confident that Hydra build. I don't know if intended is the right word to say, but since there are no patch notes so far, maybe they wouldn't get that to be fixed or changed. I don't know. I mean, I guess Friday is today, so maybe that could happen later on, or maybe Monday night. I'm not sure. But if they actually get to change the Hydra build and change the way that you interact with Arcane Shot, with Spoiler Mark, maybe the value of MM is gonna go down. But we'll see. For now, it looks to be a rather crispy performer. But nothing here else surprised me, honestly. Windwalker Monk seems like a lot of people are dooming about it, but look at his top 10 right now, performing rate, pretty solid. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the YAP chat. That was pretty much the YAP. I don't know what you guys think. Let me know down in the comments below. Am I full copy on Ellie? I could be, actually. I could be. Like, can you imagine? Listen, chat. I want you to save this video. Today is the 20th of March. Imagine the absolute fucking 6D chess play. Like, Ellie to be actually great in M+, but because we do so bad in raiding, you start to prepare ult just because you trusted me blindly, and then a long few days in advance they buff Ellie, or in a few weeks, I don't know, whatever, and Ellie becomes absolutely broken for M+. Like, bro, right? If that happens, please put a picture of me next to your bed frame and just name me Nostradamus, so every day when you wake up, you give me a kiss and be like, I hope for good luck, Petko. Bless me, you know. Anyway, thank you for watching the video, guys. I'll see you tomorrow for more playing. And if there are any class changes tonight, I'll let you know. And if they're not, then Mythic Week comes out in 4 days. And if your spec sucks, then GG, bench. So in 4 days, if I don't see any changes for neither of those specs, Rogues, Ellie, Shamans, Hunters, Frost Decays, we cooked. Anyway, see you guys. Thank you for watching.